Hi, this is Rachel Israel with STEM News and Global World Report. We have breaking news that will have a huge impact on the global scene in the very near future. Let's take a look at what's going on around the world.
Thank you, Rachel, and now to our reporter on the ground.
Hey, what's up, you beautiful people? Today I've got a huge update from the ongoing conflict in Ukraine that's making big waves around the globe. So, let's dive right in. Ukraine just fired US-supplied longer-range missiles into Russian territory for the first time ever. Yes, you heard that right. Moscow says these missiles hit the Bryansk region, which borders Ukraine to the north. Now here's the kicker. This comes right after Washington gave the green light for such attacks. U.S. officials confirmed to CBS News that Ukraine used the Army Tactical Missile System, or ATACMS. But Ukraine? They've kept quiet. No comment at all. On the flip side, Russia's defense ministry claims they shot down 5 missiles and one caused some damage, starting a fire at a military facility. But hold on, 2 U.S. officials are saying something different. They believe Russia only intercepted 2 out of around 8 fired missiles. Confusing, right? The BBC hasn't been able to verify these conflicting reports yet. Now this is where things get even more intense. Russia's foreign minister, Sergei Lavrov, is pointing the finger at Washington, accusing them of trying to escalate the conflict. He's saying that the use of ATACMS is a clear signal that the U.S. wants escalation. Lavrov even went as far as to say that these missiles couldn't have been used without American military experts. That's a heavy accusation, folks. Lavrov warned that Russia will treat this as a new phase in what he calls the Western war against Russia. He promised that Russia will react accordingly. And this announcement came during a press conference at the G20 summit in Rio de Janeiro. So, what does this mean for the conflict? Well, it's a huge escalation, no doubt. The use of more advanced, longer-range missiles could change the dynamics on the ground, and it definitely ramps up the tension between Russia and the West even more. But let's not forget, folks, amidst all this geopolitical maneuvering, there are real people affected by this conflict every day. Civilians on both sides just trying to live their lives. The hope is always for a resolution that brings peace, not more destruction. That's the latest on this developing story. I'll be keeping an eye on updates as they come in, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned. And as always, I want to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below. Do you think this move by Ukraine is justified? Is it a step too far? Let's get the conversation going. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay informed, stay engaged, and stay awesome.
Welcome to our channel. Please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Most of all, enjoy the show. So, what's going on in the world today is, it reminds me of the times of the old Cuban Missile Crisis, only this has something different to it. It's what I call a no fear factor. At the time of the Cuban Missile Crisis, everybody was concerned. There was a serious tone of, or fear of, nuclear war. And today I just don't get that feeling. It's almost like nuclear war is another video game. You know, it's just a different vibe, almost as if people don't take it seriously. And yeah, just like in the video games, your character gets unalived. Now you can get more points and bring him back to life. Well, in reality, that's not the game. We're talking about some very serious stuff here, and I don't think the general public is really engaged. Some people are. In fact, I think that during the presidential race, I think one of the reasons that favored Trump was that his relationship. I know it back in the day. It was he was under scrutiny and being accused of a lot of things, but his relationship with the Russians was fairly good. And people are starting to recognize that this outgoing administration, it just feels like, and I'm not leveling accusations, but it just feels like they're trying to ramp this thing up to a point where even Trump cannot bring it back to center. You follow? It's gone so far, in one direction, and there is a point of no return. I think back in history where President Wilson ran on a campaign of staying out of the European wars. And the American people were like, yeah, let's stay out of that. He gets elected. Within a couple of months, we're in the European war. So not to say that that was his intent, but there are forces at play that once you get beyond a certain point, usually it's when American lives are lost, that becomes a rallying cry, and we end up engaged in something that we didn't have to be engaged in. So the scary part to all of this is the outgoing administration had pushed for this, and now they have nothing to lose, so they could push it over the edge, and then even Trump can't bring it back from the brink, from the abyss, and then there will be engaged in what everyone wants to call World War III, and that's no joke, because once you go down that path, accidents happen. When I say accidents, yeah, you engage in war. It starts out as, a standard traditional shoot 'em up, but then somebody does something and it escalates, and then we could find ourselves escalating to nuclear world war. So, and that affects everybody. Even people who have nothing to do with this are going to be affected by what they do. And the level, I don't want to espouse or, state my opinion too succinctly or concisely, but what kind of a mind do you have when you're pushing the world to annihilation? And if that is not the most important thing going on right now, I don't know what is. I know the economy is important. Human rights are important. Civil rights are important. There's a lot of important things out there, but none of that becomes important if the world is on fire. I mean, the entire globe nuked, nuclear winter. I mean, this should be our chief focus. And so I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to leave on that note, and just something to think about. I think we need to be taking this a lot more seriously and bring us back from the brink of annihilation, Anyway, I'm going to turn this back over to Rachel Israel. Rachel, you can close this out for us. Thank you so much.
Well, that's the news for tonight. Thank you so much for continually supporting our content. If you did enjoy this video, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe and turn on the notification bell, and share this with your friends and family. I'm sure they would find it interesting as well. We're very excited to continue this journey with you. We thank you all for bringing certain stories to our attention, and for continually keeping us updated with certain events around the world.